Hey Vera City, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl Vermo, and I'm back with another reaction video. Guys, today I'm going to be reacting to Candace Owens podcast. You also need to know my reaction to her podcast. Click the link above. I have a whole playlist on Candace. This is Stop Everything. Fani Willis is a ghetto superstar. Wow. Fani Willis. My first time checking this out and I'm super excited. Before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you are new here, hello, I'm Vera. I do reaction videos. We vibe to different artists on here, react to different songs from all over the world. If this is something that you love, why not join Vera City? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that, guys, let's go. Let's go.
Happy Friday, everybody. You made it to the end of another long week. What could I have for you today other than Fani Willis? My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are not worthy. We are not worthy of Fani Willis. We are going to talk about this case that everybody is talking about because, my oh my, I'm telling you, it is a dumpster fire, and I can't look away. Plus, later on in the show, I am truly offended. It looks like Zelensky's media has released a list of what they are terming the Russian disinformation 26, and I am not on it. Nope. Tucker Carlson's on it. Russell Brand is on it. Candace? Nope. Good news, though. Meghan Markle has landed another new podcast deal with a, you guessed it, women-led company. I'm excited. All that and more today coming up on Candace Owens.
Candace Owens.
Let's just take a deep breath to start this. Where do we even start? Listen, I'll say this. You don't have to like Donald Trump to admit that Trump attracts a very specific kind of woman that is willing to drag him through the court system. And that type, by the way, is clinically insane. A couple of weeks ago on the show, we covered the extraordinary case of E. Jean Carroll. You remember her? Yeah, the one that's going after him for defamation because she claims she was raped, but we're not really sure what she even thinks rape is. We're not going to recap it, but just let this one clip jog your memory.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on the other side.
You're fascinating to talk to.
Rape is sexy, and Anderson Cooper is fascinating to talk to. No comment. Ratchet. Well, another case that Trump has been going through, and of course you are aware of it because it produced what is arguably the most famous mugshot of all time, is happening down in Fulton County. Yes, he was indicted by a district attorney named Fani Willis. Now, of course, you might recall that the mugshot kind of backfired for Dems. In fact, black people were in the streets cheering Trump on his way to get arrested. Honestly, the scenes were incredible. And more specifically, the black men down in Fulton County were saying, oh, yes, he's one of us now because we also get indicted for absolutely no reason. Take a listen.
I'm here to support President Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? Because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent. I support Trump against this corrupt, two-tiered justice system. That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump. And I'm wearing my shirt for Trump 2024, and I mean that.
What do you think about the indictment?
Oh, it's a bunch of bullshit.
It's a bunch of bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's saying. He's saying that there is corruption down in Fulton County. And maybe at the time you didn't believe that man, but now you most certainly will. Maybe you didn't believe me a couple of weeks ago when I said DEI policies are harmful because obviously what's going to happen is to fulfill certain quotas to make sure that we look good and people look like they're all different. Yeah, we were going to suspend intelligence. We were going to be willing to suspend actually hiring people that are better qualified for jobs. And I now feel certain that the biggest argument against DEI is Fani Willis. Yep, the district attorney who indicted Donald Trump down in Fulton for what? Well, I'll jog your memory. They were saying that Trump and his allies attempted to reverse Fulton County's election results fraudulently. They were saying corruption. Our county would never do anything that is corrupt or illegal. Everything is top tier down here. We don't do that. Well, When Fani Willis indicted Trump, she decided to hire a man named Nathan Wade to be the special prosecutor. So his job was to help with Trump's prosecution. Okay, no big deal. But just one day after, Nathan Wade, rather mysteriously, filed for divorce from his wife. And he also filed to have all of the records sealed in that divorce case. Now, that just seems a little weird. Maybe it's nothing, or maybe it's everything. Wade, in the meantime, billed Fulton County over $650,000 for his work on the Trump case over these past 2 years. Now, that's a lot of money, $650,000. Could that be corrupt? Yeah, turns out it was. After a while, it was revealed that that special prosecutor, Nathan Wade, had a very special relationship with Fani Willis. They were making sexy time with one another, and that's why she hired him on this case. That sounds pretty corrupt for me. And so now they're both facing a misconduct hearing because Nathan's wife is now talking, and she is alleging that the money that Fulton County was paying him, a handsome amount of money, was actually being used to fund their trips around the world for their hanky-panky. Yeah, this is what they're doing. She's paying him. He's taking her around the world, and they're making sexy time. Yep, the state is also accusing her of hiring Wade to help prosecute Trump, despite the fact that Wade is not qualified or experienced in handling criminal matters. So again, that's just a special hire. Now, there are a lot of adjectives that I could use to describe this misconduct hearing. I would say it's ghetto, it's ratchet, it's fabulous in all the wrong ways. Basically, if VH1 watched this and did not immediately phone these two, Nathan Wade and Fani Willis, to cast them on Love and Hip Hop, it will be the biggest missed opportunity ever. So I'm going to take you through some of these clips very quickly. First and foremost, Fani Willis, she speaks Ebonics. Here is her describing her reimbursement policy with Nathan Wade. It's a pretty fast and loose reimbursement policy. Take a listen.
And then he tells me how much it is, and I give him the money back. I don't, just like you're asking me about the money with Robin, I don't do my friends like that. So if you tell me it's a G, then you're going to get $1,000. Whatever it is, I didn't ever make him produce receipts to me. Whatever he told me it was, I gave him his money back.
Yeah, you heard her, right? She don't do her friends like that. Whatever you tell me what it is, like you say it's a G, I'm going to give you a G. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm just going to give you a G. I got you. We friends. It's cool. I'll listen to you. Further to that point, it's because Fani Willis, she don't need no man. Take a listen.
And did the forthcoming indictment have anything to do with that?
Ooh.
Or was it just a coincidence?
Let's go on and have the conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
No.
Sure.
But I'm sure we'll talk about it further.
No, we're not going to talk about it further.
All right, no back and forth. Let's stay down. Next question.
Ooh, you heard her right. Ain't no man but her daddy, okay? And she kind of does this, and you can tell that now her and Mr. Wade are not on great terms since this affair has been exposed. She regularly kind of insults him and says these sorts of things. But in a rather glorious flip, she admits that she has other options for men, but then she goes, oh, no, but I'm not going to, well, I don't know. I'll just let you guys listen.
I do appreciate the characterization.
I'm not going to emasculate a black man, but I'm just telling you.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm not going to emasculate a black man. Did you understand that?
All right.
Well, I don't think.
So what do we garner from this? She's a feminist, obviously. She can take care of herself, but also she wants you to remember that she is a black woman, and she is not going to emasculate a black man. even though she routinely does it all throughout the thing, of course, by saying that she could have had any other man, and this was just one of many options. As I said, VH1, do not miss this opportunity. I think my favorite part in this entire hearing is when she just sort of comes right out and admits she's pretty stupid as a defense, because obviously they are concerned about these payments that she made, $650,000 plus to Wade. They want to know, like, what are you guys doing around the world? What about these trips? How many continents have you been on? It's a very basic question. How many continents have the two of you been on together? And my goodness, you guys, here is how she responds.
You also said that he was a world traveler and had been on many of the continents.
I've been to 6.
Have you been on any of those continents with him? Besides this one?
Where's Belize? What continent is that? I'm not being funny, I don't know.
Let's say, with the exception of...
I've been to Belize with him. I've been to the Bahamas with him. I've been with Aruba with him. Don't embarrass me. I'm not sure what continents those are on. Whatever continents those are, that's where I've been. I'm sure if I gave it some thought, I would tell you. But whatever continents those are, that I've been to those locations, sir.
But not Australia or any other continents?
I don't even want to go to Australia. I do know he took a trip in December to Australia. I have no idea, I don't know anything about that trip.
Look, I'm on her side. Don't ask these questions. You trying to embarrass me? You trying to ask me what continent I've been to? Like, okay, I don't know. I don't know where Belize is. And for no reason, let's just take a shot at the Aussies, right? I don't want to go to Australia. Nope. I don't want to go to Australia. You are out of line here trying to ask me to name continents. I do not have that level of intelligence, and it's very clear what you're trying to do. I would argue what that man was doing right there was racist. Yeah. Why would we have to know where the continents were? I'm a DA down here in Fulton County. I don't have to know anything. Okay, we keep it legit. We keep it $120 down here in Fulton. She's also so legally equipped to be the district attorney of Fulton County that she then appears to implicate herself in a crime. She is describing, they're asking her at least, like, where are you getting all of this cash that you claim to keep on hand? Where is it coming from? Listen to her answer.
So my question was, where did that cash originally come from, if it didn't come out of the bank?
Cash is fungible. I've had cash for years in my house. So for me to tell you the source of when it comes from, when you go to Publix and you buy something, you get $50, you throw it in there. It's been my whole life. When I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that.
Yep. Yeah, she doesn't know where the money's come from. She doesn't know where the money's going. She can't count her money, but definitely I'm sure that Fulton County, when it comes to counting votes, everything is above bar. I mean, this is supposed to be the smartest woman in the county. She's a district attorney. And so, yeah, totally trust the process down there. No corruption when it comes to the votes. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are not worthy. We deserve more of this. We need to see more of these people testifying on the stand regarding their misconduct. And really what I want you to take away from this is that this was so ghetto, it was so fabulous in all the wrong ways that even MSNBC, who specializes in fake news, had to admit that, this case is over. Take a listen.
This has been a bombshell, and it was a slow burn. But if you parse the language, huge issues here. And I want to be really clear: this is not about a relationship between two consenting adults. This has nothing to do with that. It's about lying to the court. It's about potential financial gain on the part of Fani Willis, and not even so much. That's a second. That takes the back seat here. The issue is that her credibility is shot. Just as Anthony was saying, if she lied to the court, she submitted something to the court that she knew was false and inaccurate, what else was she lying about? It's a horrible look for her. I think this case is dead in the water.
Yep, the case is dead in the water, and the media wants it to stop because obviously it very much implies that the Donald Trump case is dead in the water and that Fulton County is in fact corrupt, and that every single person that counted the votes that night should be on the stand when they had their magical leak. And then we saw footage coming out of Fulton County that looked tremendously suspect. What went down in Fulton County? Because if this woman had anything to do with it, I'll guarantee you it was corrupt. And also, don't just free Trump. Free all the black men in Fulton County that have ever been indicted by Fani Willis. That's all I have to say about that. Sleep is the foundation of our mental and physical health. You must have a consistent nighttime routine to function at your very best. If you're struggling with sleep, you need to check out Beam. Beam's Dream Powder contains a powerful all-natural blend of ingredients, including magnesium L-theanine. It's not just your run-of-the-mill sleep aid either. It's a concoction carefully crafted to help you rest without the grogginess that often accompanies other sleep remedies. Several people on my team use Beam Dreams powder, and they're always saying how great it works. Today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder, their best-selling hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Now available in delicious flavors like cinnamon cocoa, chocolate, peanut butter, and mint chip, better sleep has never tasted better. Just mix Beam Dream into hot water or milk, stir or froth, and enjoy before bedtime. If you find yourself struggling to sleep, give it a shot. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, take advantage of their New Year sale. For a limited time, get 40% off when you go to shopbeam.com/Candace and use code Candace at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Candace with my promo code Candace for up to 40% off your order. Okay, now it's time for some topics du jour. Before we get into our first topic, I want to remind you we are so close to 3 million subscribers, so take this time if you are watching this video to subscribe. So I'm really proud of Americans. It seems like a lot of us are waking up to the understanding that our mainstream media is just possessed with propaganda. They're just state media. That's the way to think of it. This is the CIA elects them into these positions of power behind the scenes, and their job is to condition the way that we as Americans think. And this clip, by the way, which is making the rounds, I have to show you what I'm speaking about. It is just so gross in terms of the adoration, the fawning over Zelensky, when quite literally they were just trying to convince us to be totally chill with getting to work and sending more and more billions, trying to make you think he was a hero fighting for democracy. Yeah, this is CNN's Erin Burnett. She has an opportunity to sit down with Zelensky and ask him questions, and here's what she was concerned with. Take a listen.
As a human being, so many people look up to you. They rely on you. No one can imagine how hard that is. Do you do anything for yourself? Are you ever able to take a minute to read or to listen to music or something to sort of give yourself that a moment?
I have such moments, important, to be in silence, to be alone. Alone, how can I be alone? Alone, I can be with music.
What music do you like?
Oh, I like AC/DC and Ukrainian music.
Yeah.
Of course, I like Ukrainian music a lot because Ukrainian, that's native language. That's why you understand not only music, you understand the words and etc. AC/DC, I don't understand all the words because of. But
I like the music.
It's just incredible. It's like she's quite literally trying to date him. So many people rely on you. Like, what kind of music do you listen to, and how do you find time for you? Could you imagine if when Tucker was interviewing Putin, he asked any of those questions? Like, so many people rely on you, Mr. Putin. What kind of music do you listen to? It's just such a joke, and it's so obvious. And to be clear, that interview was from last year, July 2023. But I'm showing it to you now because it seems that since then, there has been this mass awakening. There's a lot of corruption happening in Ukraine, and those of us who have had the courage to talk about it and expose it, and people say, why is it relevant? Because we're sending you money. I'm already aware that Putin is corrupt. We're not sending him billions of dollars, all right? There is, as I believe it and the way that I see it, a mass execution of Christians that are happening in Ukraine. Christians should be upset about this. We should be asking questions. It seems like they're just clearing out the region under the guise of fighting an unwinnable war with Russia. There is something that I have said is giving me Bolshevik vibes. Go back and watch our episode talking about what the Bolshevik Revolution was. There's something about Zelensky that is not sitting right with me because we control him. And it seems to me that there is an ethnic cleansing that has taken place. But lo and behold, you guys, a network that claims to be independent, which obviously it's not independent if you're allowed to be in Ukraine and be reporting any types of news, it's because you are operated by the state. They're shutting down churches. Zelensky has put his opponents in house arrest, right? Saying, you're not even going to compete with me. He suspended election. It's giving dictator. It's giving psychopath. We should not be funding this psychopath. But Vox, claiming to be completely independent, decided to release what is being referred to as a network of pro-Russian, disinformation in the West, and they've released 26 individuals. It's really stunning. Just to give you some honorable mentions here, Tucker Carlson, of course, because he went over and talked to Putin. That means automatically he's engaged in disinformation, because you should not be allowed to hear from the other person in this war. You're not smart enough, ladies and gentlemen. Only Aaron Burnett is smart enough to interpret the news for you. John Mearsheimer, shocking that he's made that list. You've got Jimmy Dore on this list. You've got Russell Brand on this list, which is just so confusing to me. Like, Russell Brand is so much peace and love. He's so happy, but they put him on this list because basically, if you are not accepting their narrative, then you should be on the list, which is why I am offended. I'm offended. I said on this show, right when the war broke out, that if there was one person that I could punch in the face and get away with, it would be President Zelensky. And I have held to that firmly. They circulated that clip. They wrote news articles. Candace says she would punch Zelensky in the face. Yeah, right. Just right in the face a couple of times, jab them. That's what I would do. And yet they did not put me on this list. Ridiculous, really. Because these obviously are the individuals that are engaged in disinformation. Now, lo and behold, if you look at the news today, it's wall-to-wall coverage about the fact that somebody that Putin imprisoned, his rival, Alexei Navalny, you may have heard about him. There were the allegations that he was poisoned when he was in the UK by the honchos of Vladimir Putin, and then they put him in prison up in Siberia, and it has been reported that he has died, that he collapsed while he was walking. And so there is very obviously a lot of suspicion that this was something that was done that was barbaric and awful, and that they did this intentionally to kill him as a rival for speaking out against Vladimir Putin, which is not allowed in these sorts of regimes. And of course, that is awful and that is wrong and it deserves coverage. And we should be covering the corruption of Zelensky with just as much vigor. And they don't do that, right? They didn't even cover the fact that an American journalist was killed in the exact same fashion, put into a prison because he criticized, while he was in Ukraine, he criticized Zelensky and the Biden regime. And what did they do? They put him into prison, and then he died mysteriously. Just weeks after, his dad went on Tucker Carlson and said, "They are going to kill my son. Please help." The mainstream media didn't cover this. They didn't care. Nope, they don't care, because their narrative is to say that everything Zelensky does is good. Two things can be true at once. I know why people think it's always got to be a villain and a hero story. There can be multiple villains, but we are only funding one of those villains. And he is mass murdering Christians, taking them off of the street and sending them to the front lines to die in a war that he cannot win. Okay? And he is also, as I have said, I think, conditioning us to accept an ethnic cleansing in that region. President Zelensky is a monster. That is my point. Okay? It doesn't mean that Vladimir Putin is good. Two things can be true at once. But let's move on, you guys. That's way too dark. It's Friday. Let's be happy. Happy vibes. Who do we get them from? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Yep, her and Prince Harry have landed a new podcast deal after parting ways with Spotify. And that is amazing, because Spotify lost so much money on them. And you remember one of the executives came out and said they quite literally have no talent. But worse than that, they don't want to work. Never, ever in the history of the world has there been a couple that has grifted as hard and as successfully as they have, right? You just grifted off of your family, haven't really done anything since. You keep getting awards, you keep getting these deals. I don't understand it. And the brand that they keep going into is this idea that Meghan is a feminist. She's a true feminist, and that's why she's being awarded by Gloria Steinem. She's just a brave woman. And yeah, I don't understand why her podcast, her original one, didn't take off. I've listened to it. I definitely would want to listen to this every single day of my life if there were more episodes. Let's just take it back to her old podcast that was on Spotify called Archetypes.
When I was 14, I planned my wedding. Not my actual wedding. That would have been a bit harder to imagine. This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school. At no point could you say, nope, my dream for the future is to be single. The message, even at my feminist all-girls school, was as traditional as it gets. First comes love, then comes marriage.
It was stunning. Brave. don't know what that podcast executive was talking about. She's amazing. I love her. Which is why it makes perfect sense that another company has approached her. She has landed a new deal. This is obviously less than a year after Spotify said, no, we're good. You are losing us money. Well, Spotify, that's kind of your fault because it's pretty obvious that these two are only good at selling their family throwing their family under the bus. And Meghan has released a statement about this new partnership. It is with Lemonada, and they're going to stream archetypes. Yeah, they're going to handle all of the ad sales and the distribution. And remember, she had tons of people on to talk about this feminism. She had Mariah Carey, Mindy Kaling, and now they're going to take this on. Meghan released this statement. I am proud to now be able to share that I am joining the brilliant team at Lemonada to continue my love of podcasting. Being able to support a female-founded company with a roster of thought-provoking and highly entertaining podcasts is a fantastic way to kick off 2024. Our plan to re-release Archetypes so that more people can now have access to it, as well as launching a dynamic new podcast, are well in the works. I'm so eager to be able to share it soon, and I'm overjoyed to be joining the Lemonada family. Yes, she's not even going to do any work in the beginning. They're just going to re-release what she already did, and then I'm sure she's eager to do more, but...
Whoa, oh my goodness. I wish we could react to all of this, but our time, but video is over 34 minutes. That's a lot. And that is definitely a lot. What do you guys think about this video? Like, a lot of views were shared in here, and Candace, do you agree with Candace? What do you guys think about this video? Drop your comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.